Picture having not only a fleet of gold-plated vehicles, but an entire airline to transport them across the globe. While billionaires fantasize about their next million, the Saudi royal family spends that much on a weekend shopping spree. Their riches are so enormous, they make Elon Musk seem like he's on a shoestring budget. When we refer to the Saudi royal family, we're not just talking about a wealthy dynasty. We're talking about a family so wealthy, they have oil wells in their backyards. The House of Saud's riches are estimated at over $1.4 trillion, and that's probably a conservative figure. Let that sink in for a second. That's greater than the GDP of most countries. You think you've seen wealth, but trust me, you haven't seen anything. The family owns estates that dwarf the Buckingham Palace to the extent that the latter looks like a starter home. We're dealing with palaces where gold-plated everything, and I mean on everything exists. Toilet fittings to door handles, if it is possible to gold-plate it probably is. And these are not even some typical gold fixtures. Each piece is specially crafted by the finest craftsmen on the planet, with some bathroom faucets costing more than the typical American home. Let's talk about their cars for a second, because this is where things get wild. Forget the collection of luxury cars. The Saudi princes have temperature-controlled subterranean garages full of made-to-measure cars that you can't even purchase if you were rich. We're not speaking of made-to-measure Bugattis, diamond-plated Rolls-Royces, and Mercedes fitted into Swarovski crystals. What's even more amazing is that most of these vehicles aren't even taken out for drives. They are treated as art pieces instead of cars. While it's typical for the majority of billionaires to rent a private jet, Saudi royal family takes it to an entirely different level. The Boeing 747, owned by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, isn't just any regular private aircraft. It's a sheer flying palace, equipped with a throne room, multiple bedrooms, and even a concert hall. The plane puts Air Force One to shame. Interior of the aircraft consists of hand-woven carpets, which took months of work for artists to complete, and has a ceiling to display an exact replica of stars in the sky. Thought your college years were expensive? The princes and princesses of Saudi Arabia attend the globe's finest institutions, at times buying entire buildings to house their security teams. When a prince attended Oxford University, he did not merely rent an apartment building. He bought an entire old mansion and redid it with underground parking space for his collection of exotic sports cars. The remodel itself cost more than the average university endowment. Their shopping habits are equally confounding. While the rest of us plan our shopping around specials, the Saudi royal family doesn't hesitate to shut down a whole high-end mall for personal shopping outings. Princesses spend the day at Paris boutiques to the tune of $20 million, and that's for casual wear. The most incredible aspect? These shopping sprees are so frequent that leading fashion houses have entire teams of designers create one-off pieces just for the family. The family's real estate portfolio would make any property tycoon green with envy. We're not talking about Saudi Arabian palaces only. They have some of the most high-end properties in the world. French chateaux, entire London boroughs. Their property portfolio is worth billions of dollars in itself. A prince had a French castle recently purchased, disassembled in its entirety, shipped to Saudi Arabia, and rebuilt with modern amenities while maintaining its historic frontage. Take the Kingdom Palace in Riyadh, for example. This isn't just a run-of-the-mill royal palace. It's a $2 billion facility that has a private hospital, a mosque, and room for 400 vehicles in its garages. The gardens alone consume more water in a single day than some small towns in a month. The most fascinating part? The entire palace is run by a sophisticated computer system that can track all members of the family and guests' tastes, so that everything from temperature control to meal preparation automatically adjusts to suit whoever enters whichever room. Personal staff is where the numbers get really mind-boggling. The best family members don't employ a handful of servants. They have battalions of staff. We're talking about personally trained chefs at top culinary schools in the world, fashion buyers who cater to a single princess alone, and security details as big as special forces of some nations. One prince's household staff includes a team whose sole full-time occupation is keeping his watch collection running, a collection so expensive that each piece is insured separately. Speaking of security, the security detail of this family is straight out of a movie. Their security detail includes medic teams, counter-surveillance experts, and even electronic warfare experts. When a Saudi prince travels, it's with an entourage that would leave a presidential security detail looking undermanned. The most astonishing aspect? Their security team uses technology so advanced that some of it won't be available to the general public for a decade. Consider this. When one of your family members is planning to vacation in their island, it's not a matter of loading a bag in the car. There are hundreds of advanced staff arriving weeks before to prepare the property, setting up temporary satellite gear, mobile medical units, and even importing special plants to create the correct ambiance. The cost of all this preparation generally exceeds what most people spend on a house. Whereas normal billionaires may have a yacht, the Saudi royal family takes ocean luxury to the next level. Prince Mohammed's yacht, the Serene, was worth almost $500 million and features a submarine hangar and underwater observation room. But here's something even more unbelievable. The family employs a full team of marine biologists who precede the yacht to ensure the underwater landscape will be perfect, occasionally even arranging for certain types of fish to be introduced into the area. Free time for the royal family is extreme in ways almost too unimaginable to believe. Imagine that you want to watch a new movie, and instead of going out to the movies, the entire cast is flown in to perform it for you live in your own stadium. One prince liked a favorite Broadway show so much that he had an exact duplicate of the theater built within his palace, and then hired the entire production company to perform it whenever he wanted. Their private theme parks dwarf Disneyland as a county fair, rides and attractions costing hundreds of millions to establish and sustain. There's one young prince with a virtual reality game center, superior to anything one can get their hands on the public, custom technology designed solely for his play. The sheer incredible thing is that these things are used hardly more than a few times before completely being rebuilt into the next creative venture. But it's not all about personal excess. The Saudi royal family also makes huge charitable contributions and public works initiatives that reshape whole districts. They've built entire cities from scratch, endowed colleges, and created some of the world's largest charitable organizations. One prince donated his entire $32 billion estate to charity. Although, given the family's riches, he's probably still doing very well. These charitable endeavors are typically accompanied by their own dazzling exhibitions of wealth, such as hospital equipment, plated with gold, and schools that have more amenities than the average luxury hotel. Saudi's new royals are pushing excess to new levels, and their ambitions make their parents' decadence seem positively modest. They're not just buying companies, they're creating whole future cities. Take Neom, a $500 billion megacity project that sounds like science fiction. We're talking flying taxis, man-made moons, and robot housemaids. And the incredible thing? That's just one of their many projects reshaping the face of the earth. These princes and princesses are not pleased with the antiquated investments. While their fathers might have been content with buying up luxury hotels, this generation is investing in space tourism operations and developing artificial intelligence that will change our lives. One of these young princes recently invested $50 billion in technology that will not exist in 5 years' time. That's how forward-thinking they are. Their scale of business would turn corporate CEOs' heads. In order to own all that many, you'd have to maintain an artificial intelligence software just to keep up with all of them. That's what one prince commanded, shelling out more on the software than many companies collect in a year. It manages their properties everywhere in the world in real time, buying and selling as fast as a man would be capable of. Their impact on international luxury markets is nearly impossible to grasp. If a Saudi princess takes notice of a designer, it is not uncommon for the stock value of that label to spike overnight. A remark by one of the young princes that he favored a certain model of watch sent that particular timepiece into backlog for 6 months, and this was before he even purchased a single one. Want to hear something that will blow your mind? The combined wealth of the family is so massive that there was saying individual on the earth about $180 and still have enough funds remaining to be billionaires. But here's something even crazier. Their income from investments alone in a single year is higher than the GDP of dozens of countries combined. Just the interest they earn in a single day could fund a small nation for a year. Let's talk about their lives for a moment, because this is where this gets interesting. Dozens of chefs prepare hundreds of dishes every morning, and they only know a few might even be consumed. The leftovers? Donated to charities in packaging that is more expensive than what is contained. Its coffee for breakfast is poured into one more costly than a car made of beans, laboriously harvested by master technicians roaming the world for the best produce. The family's influence reaches beyond luxury goods to international markets. When a Saudi royale is about to renovate one of their residences, it can affect the international price of certain materials. A princess's decision to redecorate her palace bedrooms created a shortage of a specific Italian marble, which doubled overnight. Construction companies had to halt projects worldwide simply because the royal family had bought the entire world's supply. Their technology skills come close to the unimaginable. Their newer palaces are equipped with security systems that include facial recognition software that can identify a person's emotional state and predict threats before they even happen. Their cars are equipped with defense systems that would make military cars look primitive. Even their pets have GPS tracking and health monitoring collars more advanced than most human medical devices. Speaking of medical care, the royal family's health system runs top-of-the-line care close in terms of something as mundane as a checkup. They employ genetic researchers, developing bespoke medical treatments that cost millions to develop. Their private health facilities don't just have state-of-the-art equipment, they have equipment that exists nowhere else on the planet. The individual health team of one prince consists of professionals who do nothing but focus on preventive healthcare, using AI to predict diseases years in the future. Their influence extends to the areas most people do not even think about. They own weather modification tools that can design perfect conditions for their outdoor activities. Their farm practices include artificially regulated farms in which any crop can be grown, regardless of the natural environment. They have even funded research into equipment that has the capability of theoretically controlling the weather patterns around their properties. But perhaps the most surprising aspect of their wealth is that it simply continues to grow. The family's investments in advanced technologies and emerging markets are so vast that they're effectively betting on and underwriting the next phase of human evolution. They're not simply living in comfort, they're redefining luxury. The Saudi royal family's lifestyle is not just about money, it's about a level of luxury and power that most people can't even imagine. From their gold palaces to their investments that can potentially alter the world, they're living a life that makes ordinary billionaires seem like bargain hunters. In an economy where money is typically measured in millions or billions, they're operating on a scale that's almost impossible to conceive. When you look at the numbers, it's staggering. The maintenance of their homes alone would fund an entire education system for a small country. Fuel for their personal jets could light up a city. The water in their decorative fountains is more valuable than many individuals' pensions. To the Saudi royal family, though, these aren't expenses. They're just the cost of a typical day. Blown away by these mind-blowing facts about the Saudi royal family lifestyle? Write your comment below and tell us what fact caught you off guard the most. And don't forget to subscribe for more interesting tales about the most interesting lives around the globe.